Hey, 8th graders, here's the second video for this week. I wanted to go over how we can adjust our window on Desmos, just like we were doing on our TI calculators in the classroom. So here you can see I've entered the data for the ice cream sales. My X variable is representing the temperature of the day in degrees centigrade, and my Y variable is representing the dollar amount of ice cream sales for that day. And as you can see, once I entered the data, I don't see any of my data. So what I want to do is click this little wrench icon, and I want to switch the interval for my x-axis. So I'm thinking let's go from maybe 0 or -1. I like to be able to see the y-axis to about 25. And then my y-axis, I think I could start at around 100 and go to 550. Right? And now I'm starting to see that data. I can even zoom out a little bit. There we go. It is nice when you do your intervals to keep your smallest x value a little bit less than 0 and your smallest y value a little bit less than 0, so that way you can see the y-axis and the x-axis. It helps give you a frame of reference. But now we see our data, and that's because we were able to change the window, right? Just like we do in our calculators in the class. It's actually a little bit easier here. And now we can see all the data, and we can see our line of best fit, or our linear regression model, which is over here. So this is going to be y equals m, which is 34, about 34, x minus b, which is 226, about 226. So we should probably round to the nearest tenth, I would think. 226.4. And this round to the nearest tenth is just 34. So there's our equation. You can see it actually goes right over the other line, which makes sense because it's it's off by just the tiniest little bit here. So as you can see, we have our m and our b and our parameters there. So m is our slope of our line of best fit, and b is the y-intercept of our line of best fit, and there's our model. And then we can use this model here to make predictions. And we can also, remember last week we were talking about this R value, so we're going to talk more about this week, and you'll see here R is very, very close to 1. I want you to think about what that means and why you think R is close to 1 for this linear regression model. What makes R close to 1 in this situation? If you guys have any other questions, please reach out to me on Slack.